Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the Big Brother Weekend Review. And this week is a somber week, as it looks like hottest chick in the house, Whitney, is going to be leaving us tonight. Why? Well, it's probably because of a couple of reasons. I think one of the reasons that Frenchie went around the house and went up to Whitney and was telling her to my cat is licking me. Went up and went around and was telling Whitney that her and Brent was, whatever he was calling them out, basically to other people in the house guests, and I think that put on the radar. Definitely put Brent on there. Brent. Also with Brent's personality, and I think Whitney caught a little bit of shrapnel of both Frenchie and Brent. People see Whitney as Brent's right hand woman, and that was not the case. And I think that Ozza's been very honest about it, saying that she wants Whitney gone because she likes Xavier. But if you look at Whitney and you look at Ozza, and if you ever listen to Xavier talk, he said on the first episode, or the second episode, I think it actually was, that when he looked around the house, he saw the beautiful woman. He saw Sarah Beth, he saw Alyssa, and he saw Whitney. And he actually said that Alyssa was more his type than Whitney was. But I mean, come on. And then, earlier this week you were talking about his exes, and his last ex looked just like Holly. Brunette, light eyes, blue eyes. Ozza has no, and you look at Ozza, not only from the physical, description, from what he is obviously into, but even her fate. Ozza is, God, it's killing me, because back-to-back shows, Big Brother and Love Island, two of the most unattractive women I've ever seen in my life. Ozza and then Cachet on these shows, and it is just, it's got, and it is just a shame. And she has no shot, and I kind of think, she was trying to make a shot. This week on the live feed, she was, talking to X, and X wasn't having it at all. She was trying to get there. I guess she must have asked him to describe like his type of girl, and he did. And once he got through, he didn't ask her what's his type of guy. He went on to the next subject, because he is nothing. She is nothing. He was nice last night on the TV show. This is a beautiful woman, and and yada yada yada. But I'm gonna do a show, man. That was a nice way. He didn't want to put it out on. He didn't want to put her on blast. But really, come on. If you look at Ozza and you look at Xavier, ain't no way he is gonna date her. Just with all those looks appearances alone, he's gonna date someone like Whitney. And their relationship is this convoluted mess as well. He has on several occasions talked about maybe some of his feelings about relationships and things like that, and something like because and here's my thing about that. I feel like Xavier would love to go at it with Whitney. I think he would. I think he's totally his type. She's every black man's type, if you know what I mean. And she should be every man's type. Every straight man's type should be her. I think he talked about his family dynamic, which I won't repeat. I kind of don't feel that that's probably the right thing. I think he was probably open with it on the feeds to her, because that's the relationship. That's what he feels like. I don't know. I never haven't heard him say it to anybody else, and I don't know if he actually will, but he talked about this the dynamic, and the only thing I'll say is that his family dynamic has caused him to look at people where maybe he wouldn't want to maybe have a relationship with a woman who's already have kids, and she already has kids. So there's something with that. And I'll just say leave it like that. And then he's also talked about like long distance. He's not a big fan, and he talked about like and she lives in Oregon, and he I think is in Milwaukee. Um, so and so he talking about maybe like long distance not working or something like that. And he's also talked about like the actual thing. He's talking about like the house being a controlled environment and being in there, and that is the thing with not only this reality show, but the majority of the long form reality dating shows, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, any of the ones that they've been in the past or in the future, where it's a controlled environment, where there's many days, and you're in this controlled environment where you are spending just time together, and you're having that time together with each other, and that's how within a span of 35, 40 days, we're on TV shows like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and anything like that, you can maybe kind of grow those feelings kind of quicker than normal, and you can become fall in love with somebody and then want to try and want to marry them and things like that. So and I understand that as well. So he thinks that a controlled environment starting the show, man, it will be different than if you go outside of the house, and I definitely understand that. So you get all of these things, but I all of those things. But he also gives out the fact that he wants it. He wants it, and he would love to try it, but he had those other things in his mind that maybe would force it out. He talking about doesn't want to hurt anybody, doesn't want to get hurt, and so I think he's always talking about he's invulnerable. He tries to be invulnerable. He doesn't want to be vulnerable because he doesn't want to get hurt. And I don't think he can. I don't think he can do that, because I think he should. If he would open up, be a little more open-minded to this, I think Whitney and Xavier would make a great couple. I think they would. I think they would be a couple, one of the Big Brother couples that would stand the test of time, and because they would make great kids and everything like that. So I hope. I hope that after the show is over, I hope they do try in something, and maybe even if it's just a little dingy, right? Even if it's just that, I think Whitney would be okay with that too. I don't think he should. He shouldn't leave that unattained, so to speak. So, but back to the actual thing of Whitney being on the block and how she got there and yada yada yada. And there seems to be a lot of things for that. Christian won the HOH. They had good HOH conversation. It was in teams, and the person that hit the buzzer last would be the team, and it would be the winner. And I thought it was real good idea, man. So like that, and I was rooting for. I wanted Whitney to win. Whitney's team. I remember Whitney's team to win. Or I wanted. I don't know. I forget who I really wanted to win. The Kings won, but the main thing here was that it looked like Whitney, unless Whitney Whitney's team won, she was going to go on the block. Yeah, that's what it really seemed like, no matter what. So, and really, what came down to was this wild card. I think really came down to the wild card. Whitney needed to win the wild card, and they gave him just one of the. They gave him just a thing that Whitney was no longer going to win, Ozza, who also played, there, Claire was automatically gonna play into the power veto last year. You know, yeah, Ozzy is gonna lose to her. She ain't gonna win shit. It ain't gonna take skill for shit. So, but they won, and it was just crazy. And then and it was great too. And it was great too because the wild card was to take the safety her and her team, or take two or take safety and jury for herself. And that would have been real good. That would have been so good for Whitney to get herself to jury, and that just would have been awesome, man. But it didn't happen. So, and there was always some hope. There was always some hope doing this, because it looked like that they was gonna do that. They were gonna do Hannah and Whitney. That would look like what it was gonna be. And when it comes back and forth, he didn't Christian. First of all, Christian, I don't know. He just either he acted stupid or he just stupid. Like he didn't know what the hell he wanted to do, and like he really didn't know what he wanted to do at any point. Or also he may have been too afraid to announce it, but it was God. It was awful. He really showed this week that he's just when it comes to this game, he's not that bright. And him at one point him and Alyssa was trying to go over days, and I've and he's got the same fucking thing that Derek X has for some reason, where you're supposed to add 2 and subtract by 3 and multiply by 5, to come up with the days. I don't understand it. Like I forget what happened week 1, because week 1 started on a Wednesday, so I forget what happened then, right? I forget what happened that day, but I forget what happened on that day. But what I know is Kylan's HOH was next. Kylan was next. He won HOH next, and he won it on Thursday. That was day 9, right? That was day 9. So then day 10 was the wild card competition and the nominations. That was day 10. Day 11 was the veto. 12 was that Sunday. Monday was Monday was day 13, and that was the veto ceremony. So as long as you know that day 9, day 10, day 11, and day 13, then you just add 7 to each of those. You just add 7, and that's all you need to do. And you try to remember, and you try to guess and remember on the first day, because you know day 1 was French HOH. So if they ask you when was the first wild card comp, it's either day 2 or day 3. I think it might have been day 2. So you try to guess on that, but it's just so ridiculous. But the Royal Flush was upstairs. Then it was Kings and the Queens, and minus Derek X, who's also a part of it, and they were talking about it. And Sarah Beth was making really good points about why she feel like Hannah should go home, and she was saying, well, you gotta understand that my feeling is that I'm not close to Hannah as you is, and I feel that she would take me out, and she called him on it. They're fighting way too hard for Hannah, and and Kylan came up with some shit where you fighting for her for Whitney. No, she's not fighting hard for Whitney. She's fighting hard for Hannah. Fighting hard for Hannah to go. She's not fighting hard for Whitney to stay. He wants Hannah to go. This is a totally different subject. and they came out, and then Kylan and Tiffany, because of course Hannah's in the cookout, they turned their attention to Brittany. Right now, why aren't we looking at Brittany? And I'm glad, like, when the queens left the thing, fucking Brittany, right? Fuck that. So I like that. One of the decisions he was steadfast on. So, it was unfortunate. That it was unfortunate that it was like that. We just didn't see it. And I think these people are close to figuring out that there are going to be 6 black people in this house. After this week, right? After this week, there are going to be 6 black people. There are going to be 6 black people, and then there are going to be 4 white people. There'll be 4 white people, 1 Latina, and 1 Asian. Right? So now they have the majority. The black people have the majority. And and they keep talking things like that, like having 3 kings. You keep saying having, especially it's kind of crazy because it's hypocrisy at its finest. It's like you see like Derek F and Hannah. And their things they keep saying, well, if there are 3 kings in jury, that's 3 votes for whoever sits upon them. Not realizing that there are 6 black people. So having 6 black people in jury, that's 5. That's more. If you can have three kings on one in one, if you can have 3 kings, that's 5. Only 3. That's not going to be enough to win. But if you have 5 black people on the jury and then the other black people up on the one, that's an automatic win. It's an automatic win. That's why I've called bullshit on this season from the beginning, because this no doubt was done. This was not done to be to be like equal and have 50% people of color. If it was truly gonna be 50% people of color, it would have been like 3 black people, 3 Latinos, and 3 Asians. That's what it would have been. That's what it would have been. And then the 7 white people. That's what it would have been. But when you put 6 black people on the show, this is only to make it so that you can finally get a black winner, and a black winner who is undeserving. I can guarantee you. I am almost certain that a black person is going to win. I'm almost certain, because give the cookout a little bit of credit. They've done a great job of not showing their hand and not showing their card. They've done it recently when they said that with the Hannah not and things like that. But they have decided without question that that it is that it is that that's what they're doing by putting 6 black people. And they knew that they were gonna more than likely stick together. They will stick together. They knew that they try to make it far. And guess what? Look what's happening. And it's bullshit. And that's why this season fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. It's so. It really is. It makes me sick. It really does. It is. And once they get the black champion, who's going to be god awful, going to be the worst champion in the history of Big Brother, they better not do this shit next year. There better not be 6 black people next year. There better be 3 or less. Because this was fucking bullshit. It sickens me. It really does. And so, I just, So yeah, I'll get back to going through what happened here. So they came up with Hannah and Whitney, and they were the nominees, and so then it was up to Whitney. If she was going to stay, she needed to win veto, and the veto, as we saw last night, was the thing where you roll the ball over the thing many amount of times, and that was it. And once again, it's just like she had no chance, She was going up against Derek X, who was a good competitor. He was going up against Christian. The other one, Hannah, Azza, and Claire. Claire was the other one that was doing it, I think. Maybe that was who that was. Hannah, Azza, and Claire. Like, I don't know if it was Claire. I don't know who it was. Who the other was. I can't remember now. But I mean, like, obviously they, it would have took like Derek X or Christian to make a humongous mistake to win. It was going to be one of those two. It really was. Whitney had no shot, and Hannah had no shot. Ozzy definitely had no shot. Whoever else was out there didn't have no shot as well. And it was just she didn't have a chance this week. She really didn't. She really didn't. With the competitions they had for to set up to do, really had no chance. So with Christian won the power of veto, and one of those days, I believe it was actually Sunday. She they were in there talking in the room. They didn't see she versus that, and Derek said it's gonna be her, and it's gonna be him and Chada on Slop next week. And he said, "Hey, I can still be here." And she was like, "What?" And they did not know that Whitney was there, and that pissed Whitney off, and she was she's not forgiving him since. No should he, no should she, and she doesn't, so that pissed her off, and that kind of got her kind of going. And she said that she was kind of revamped it to try to put the target on Derek X, which would have been a good idea. But I think two things: one, they were targeting they were to Derek X is in that royal flush, so that's unfortunate, and also I think it was just unreal. Just unreal what was but she made good points. I think Hamster Watch made did something good. It took a few weeks for Whitney to start playing the game, but and I will say that, I mean, Whitney has a little fault in that as well, because Hannah is a better social game than Whitney. Whitney just talks to a few people. She doesn't talk games with anybody, and I think that's unfortunate. I think I think when it comes to the game, I think you have to talk with everybody. Talk to everybody. You have to talk with everybody. Talk with everybody on a personal level and on a game level. Even if it's maybe maybe even if it's something like where you don't like even if you don't give them nothing, right? That's fine. That's fine to do. You don't have to give them anything, but you should at least talk game to them. Maybe even if it was just something like where you talk to somebody else and say, "Do you know why such and such would put so and so on the blog?" Hey, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what is his or her thinking about it. So, and then you just say, well, as long as it's this, but as long as it's not me, I'm cool with it. Something like that. You can just, you can say things like that. Talk a little game with somebody. A little bit of game, things like that. just so maybe that there could be something there, and and that is something that I really do wish that would have happened more for Whitney, but she had her people, and she had you have a way to play the game, and I think that that's one reason why I kind of wish they would change some of the way they do this game, because this game needs to be more. Nobody wants to win shit, nobody wants to win shit, because you can't do anything, but I don't want to win, I don't want to win, but and it seemed like maybe last week that's what they were trying to do, like the only one maybe who wasn't trying to win was Kylan, maybe the only one who actually was trying to throw it, and everybody else was actually trying to win. But I think this week is, and this week is gonna be like that again. Like none of the queens are want to win, because again the kings are the targets, because they have 4, but none of the kings are going to win, right? Derek X probably doesn't want to win, because again it's the kings. Hannah wants to win because of the kings. Xavier doesn't want to win because once again he would have to put up, Xavier's not going to want to win because he would have to put up Hannah, Ozza, the Jokers, Derek F, and Brittany. He'd have to put up one of those 4. And he doesn't want any, and he's not going to want to do that. He's definitely not going to put up Brittany because of what happened on his first week. So he's not going to want to do it. So he's not going to want to win. So really, Brittany, Ozza, and Derek F. And depending on what type of endurance it is, he ain't winning. He ain't winning. Without question. So it's Brittany, Ozza, Alyssa, and Sarah Beth. Mainly, you can say it's those 4 and Hannah. Those 5 are the ones that are going to be really going for the win today. That's what it really is. Those are the 4 that are going for the win. Unless somebody's going to blow up the Royal Flush from the beginning. That's what's happening tonight. And for me, I think it's Alyssa and Sarah Beth. But for me, for my sanity, those are the 2 that are probably the ones that are going to go after the cookout. Even though they're not necessarily, they don't know about the cookout, but those are the ones that are going to go after the cookout. They're probably going to put up Hannah and Ozza. They probably would put up Hannah, especially Sarah Beth. Alyssa may not put up Hannah because she may put up she may put up Ozza and Brittany. She may put up 2 Jokers, which would be fine as well. If it's Ozza and Derek F, that's even fine as well. As long as you put up 2 members of the fucking cookout, so one of them can go, so that you guys have a fair shot. Because if you get rid of one of them, there'll be 5 in jury, but at least there'll only be 4. There'll only be 4, and if one of them makes it to up there in the spot, they only have 4 votes, and you can have the other 5. You can have a actually fair chance to win. So you got to get rid of one of these cookout members. But I really want Sarah Beth, because I believe Sarah Beth will put up Hannah and Ozza, and those are the 2 that need to go. One of those 2 need to go first, and wherever it may be, and they need to go. Hannah, because she's a BTICH, and Ozza because she's fucking ugly. So one of those 2 needs to go, and get Ozza away from Xavier as well. Help that brother. Please help that brother out. So yeah, that's what needs to go down. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Whitney is going home tonight, unless there was like a because she last night she made good points. She talked with Christian and things like this. So unless Christian is gonna have last second and try to do a last, but even if Christian did a last second thing, it's not gonna work because the cookup members are not going to vote for Hannah. But see, I would like that. I would like this. Even though Whitney would go home, it would show the cards of the cookout. And then maybe they'll open their minds up and open their eyes up and say, wow, so they're going to do this. So they're going to do this. So it's going to be those 6 against the house. And then maybe there'll be some things that change. And if teams are ending tonight, then that's good. Then it could be, 6 on 6. And let's go and let's get it out. And let's rub it out. And let's go. Let's get these fuckers out of here. One after one after one. Alright, y'all. I think I've talked about pretty much everything, right? So this episode's a little bit ranty, but it's just good to get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. Get it off your brain. That's right. Like the Dennis Green rant on the Bears. Bears, who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook, right? He's once said that his doctor said that was actually a good thing. So this would be a good thing to get this off my chest, right? This ridiculousness off my chest. So, all right, y'all. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about what's going on, and yeah, that's the way to think about it. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.